time for Christian Car Guy Theater. With today's episode, River Rock Retaliation, Part 6. In the past few episodes, we've observed a boatload of information about spiritual warfare. In fact, speaking of boats, Pastor Jack's sons, Joey and John, are at this very moment fishing in a boat, right smack dab in the middle of River Rock's peaceful and placid Beaver Brook. As you might remember from the last episode, Jimmy's magical mystical Jeep with a life of its own, containing the Under the Hood Auto Parts team, had started praying when they saw the confrontation with Joey and his brother John in front of Pop's Malt Shop. You might even remember that John is a reluctant heroin addict and his brother Joey wasn't afraid to confront him. Miraculously, and due to prayers, John agreed with his little brother and even said they could go fishing. At the same time, their father, a very discouraged Pastor Jack, had an unexpected visit from Mayor Elvira Merriweather. Ironically, both of them wanted to throw in the towel and resign, but at that moment they prayed instead. If you remember, due to all those prayers, God's good warrior angels had caused the demons to skedaddle out of town and back to the nefarious, noxious, malevolent leader to be severely punished for retreating. Unfortunately, the demons, Nagadana, Zemia, Shaddam, and Nakashi, are limping their way back to town with renewed resolve to get Pastor Jack's kids and Jimmy's Jeep.
You supercilious, superfluous sycophants! Oh, you nincompoops! You think the slimy Supreme Commander could see through your ingratiating deception? As though he doesn't have spies everywhere? What are you thinking, Zemia? Lies!
Most nefarious above all leaders, Magadana. I was only speaking lies to him. He is, after all, the father of lies. That is, after all, his language. And in fairness to us, or unfairness to us, your most unworthy, faithless team, it seemed a good idea at the time. After all, I felt we were practically victorious in the battle. It was, after all is said and done and undone, a raging battle with those disgustingly godly warriors from, heaven. Sometimes it's hard to tell who is winning and who is losing. In a manner of speaking, I think the most disagreeable Nakashi agrees.
As much as I loathe agreeing with this uber-zealous Zemia, I must say most horrible and deplorable of all leaders, Nagadana, sometimes the lines do get blurred in this ongoing battle with the enemy. May I suggest that we do our worst now that we're back in full force? Ouch! Well, still a little sore from the enemy and from our most esteemed slimy commandant, but all our punishment is well deserved. Don't you think so, Demon Shaddam?
Indubitably most dutiful, despicable, above all leaders, Nagadana. Our injuries were so well deserved that they only serve to spur us into our blistering blights, straight from his most royalness in the netherworld below. We know we are on the correct team to be dispersing despicable desecrations. And so onward and downward we shall go. Shall we start with what will really injure the entirely too sanctified Pastor Jack? Interestingly enough, his two sons are even now fishing on the River Rock Rocky River. Shall we have a little rock and roll?
Enough of your flim-flam. Oh, let's rock and roll.
Yes, rock and roll.
Rock and roll!
Rock and roll.
Meanwhile, John and his kid brother Joey are having a truly great time on their fishing expedition, canoeing down the Beaver Brook.
I can't believe my kid brother caught more fish than me.
Yeah, although that last one you caught was pretty ginormous.
Yeah, that should equal at least 2 fish, so we're even.
It makes me think of Dad's sermon last Sunday, when Jesus said, "Follow me and I'll make you fishers of men."
So you still want to be a fisherman when you grow up? Or should I say, fisher of men. I guess you think you reeled me in. A pretty ginormous fish, right?
Oh no, I didn't mean that.
It's okay, little bro. But I have some news for you. If Jesus was in this boat with us and you reeled me in, he'd probably just throw me back in the lake.
This is our chance. Zemia, Shaddam, Nakashi. Why not whip up a little waterworks? That will drown our problems.
Watch this. I think you too could use a little rapid transit.
No, he wouldn't, Johnny, because Jesus loves you. Hey, what's happening? It's like we hit rapids or something.
Okay, boys. Now wave. Goodbye, Hassan.
Hold on, Joey. Hold on to me.
And here's your tip of the day, boys. Canoeing on the Beaver Brook is like selling hats. You're asking for a cat's size.
Johnny!
After the demons did their dirty deed, they were on their way to attack the Under the Hood team in Jimmy's Jeep as Jimmy was driving over to the church for a prayer meeting. Pastor Jack sensed that the townfolk of River Rock needed to pray for their very lives. As Jimmy was just a few minutes from the church, suddenly the Jeep began to sputter and gasp. Wally Windshield Wiper saw the Demonic Horde headed their way.
Hey, car parts! Watch out! We're being invaded! I'm gonna spray them with holy water. Yep, genuine, bona fide, sprayed over holy water. Take that, you miserable miscreants! In the mighty name of Jesus!
No! Quel dommage, sacre bleu! Oh, not again. Come on, Jeep. It's just another block and we will be at the church. Oh, Lord, help us. Pastor Jacques was right. Oh, the battle is on again for this town and for this Jeep.
Tammy, attention or I feel like I'm running on fumes, honey. We gotta pray.
Oh, I hear you, Gracie Gears Tank. The tension is beginning to rise again, but you know, it's like we're all stuck in some kind of time warp.
Yeah, but not warp speed though. It's like slow motion. I mean to say, I am Mosey Motor Oil and I should be zipping along. But it's like I am sludge.
And I'm Anita Intake, but my intake is more like take out.
Ooh, my poor little Cochita Anita. Your husband Fernando fuel injector has very little fuel to inject right now. I feel like a factory reject, not inject.
Come on, gang! I can't do this alone!
Oh, Lord, you have told us that our power is in believing in the power of the name of Jesus Christ. Well, we rebuke the forces of darkness in the mighty name of Jesus Christ.
We gotta spray.
That's right, gang. My fuel gauge is beginning to rise in the name of Jesus.
And Tammy Tensioner is out of the time warp in the mighty name of Jesus Christ.
And Mosey Motor Oil, that would be me, has his mojo back in the mighty, mighty fresh oil of Jesus.
My intake is outgoing now in the name of Jesus.
See, and I'm not a reject. I'm injected with the love and power of the name of Jesus. Hijo de la mañana!
As the Jeep recovers and springs into action again, the demons slither away, blaming each other for a failure. As Jimmy arrives and runs into the church, Pastor Jack was just explaining about how discouraged he and Mayor Elvira had felt and how encouraging it was to have the support of these prayer warriors. Just then, Joey and John rush into the church, breathlessly telling a miracle story.
Dad, we almost drowned at that river.
Yeah, Dad, it was like the river just turned into the rapids.
Huge waves, just all of a sudden, and that boat turned over.
Yeah, we were trapped under the boat.
But Jesus rescued us.
Jesus rescued us!
Tune in next time for the next exciting episode of River Rock Retaliation. Did Jesus actually save John and Joey? did Pastor Jack and Mayor Elvira Merriweather finally tell their trusted friends what was heavy on their hearts? Now here's Danny Dipstick and Randy Radiator to review today's episode.
Randy, it looked like Joey and Johnny were all washed up, but turned out to be just the rinse cycle.
Yeah, Danny. And when it comes to river rapids, Jesus is the one thing you can always bank on. See? Bank on. Oh, and Danny, don't put your money in a river bank. See what I did there? Oh, and plus, it sure sounds like Joey and Johnny aren't the only ones coming clean.
Randy, there's nothing like a canoe named Clairvoyant.
Yeah, what's the difference between a canoer and a catfish, Danny? One is always wet, has whiskers, and smells bad. And the other one's a fish. See what I did there, Danny? Say goodbye, Danny.
See you later, Radiator.